AITA, surprised husband at airport with kids after being away for almost 4 days. Okay, so, AITA? My husband is really close with his parents and brother, and we live 1,500 miles away. So besides the 2 family visits we do with the kids each year, I support him in going to visit 12x per year by himself. A little difficult with 2 small kids, but I'm a full-time mom, so I can do it, and I don't mind because I know he has so much fun. My husband left early, 4 a.m. on Thursday to go visit his family. I took care of our 1-yo and 3-yo by myself until he got back into town on Sunday afternoon. My 3-yo had been missing Daddy and wanted to go see him at his airport. So after nap time on Sunday, I packed the kids in the car, drove the 20 minutes to the airport, and waited at the gate as a surprise for him. He drove our other car and parked at the airport. He had also been texting me and video chat the whole time, telling me how much fun he was having with his parents and brother, but that he missed me and the kids way more than he thought he would. He was surprised alright, got a really cute video of kids running at their dad, but his reaction was also less than enthusiastic. I asked him if it was a good surprise. He said, it was a surprising surprise. Then we get into the car so I can drive him over to the economy lot where he is parked, and 3-yo wanted to ride home with Dad. He says, I really didn't want you to be here. Like, WTF am I supposed to say to that? And he just says he'll explain more later. Well, I'm fuming the whole car ride home without him, and when we get back to the house I am quite fearing I'm going to say something I regret in anger if I speak. He can tell. He just says, I can't come home to this. Just talk to me. I tell him to explain what he meant by his earlier comment of not wanting us there, and he said he was just tired and sweaty from being in a cramped airplane for 3 hours and was just ready for the travel experience to be done with. I'm still angry. I say, well, was it a good surprise? Because you said it was just a surprising surprise. He pauses and says, it was good. I just didn't expect it. I roll my eyes. That's what surprise is. I ask him to take back what he said at the airport. And he did. But like, it still hurt. Maybe I could have handled it better. I guess I do know he doesn't like surprises, so maybe I'm an asshole for trying to set up a good one with what I thought were pretty low stakes. Maybe I'm the a-hole for not taking into consideration his mental state after just spending 3 hours on a plane that the AC was broken on. Maybe I'm not the a-hole and he always tells me to watch what I say, because sometimes it can't be taken back, and this time it was him. IDK. You guys tell me. NTA. You're right that your kids being at the airport is low stakes. It's not a surprise birthday party. It's your family. Edit. And he's just been away for a fun trip. While you've been parenting your kids alone, I'm not sure that he gets to be grumpy in this situation. NTA. You were being sweet. Your little one wanted to see Dad. And your husband was telling you how much he missed the kids. You have every right to be pissed. I am sure you've had to jump right into parenting during times when you're tired and stressed and sweaty, and I'd bet you don't make your discontent visible to the kids. And he wasn't even being asked to jump into the work of parenting. The excited hugs and "I love you" is the fun part. I really hope I'm misunderstanding and he didn't say that he really didn't want you there in front of the kids. If I am understanding correctly, then he was completely out of line. NTA. A 3-hour flight is really not all that long. Can't even watch 2 modern movies during that time. It's a weird thing to say that he didn't want you to be there after telling you he misses you and the kids. Going against the grain with nah. One of the first things my partner and I discussed in our relationship were surprises. I don't like them. I also don't think surprises are really about the person for whom it's meant to be. During a surprise, you are confronted by an emotionally charged situation where you must quickly react in a socially acceptable manner or you can hurt the people you love, as has happened here. And yeah, maybe this was a low-stakes surprise. But for someone that doesn't like surprises, it's still not going to be a pleasant experience. TLD, or find out how your partner feels about surprises before springing one on them to avoid disappointment. NTA. I don't understand the YTA votes here. You did a very sweet, small thing. Yes. He does not really like surprises, but this was not an elaborate birthday party with 150 people and a big band. You took his children. That he missed. And that missed him. To see him when he got off a plane. The man was slightly uncomfortable for 3 hours. Boo FC King Hu. And therefore could not bring himself to be happy to see his wife and children? Even if he did not like the surprise very much, it is really hurtful for him to say that he did not want you there. Of course you are upset. This feels like a huge rejection. Edit. People are saying he wanted to de-stress on the way home in the car and that you should have understood that. The man was on a fun trip with his family, without his kids. This should have been relaxing enough, don't you think? Nah. If you surprise someone that doesn't like surprises, you have to allow for negative reactions. When you aren't expecting a social interaction of any kind, it can be overwhelming and difficult to change a mindset to excited or happy. It sounds like your husband was annoyed and frustrated and hot and tired and angry after the flight. He was looking forward to a quiet AC car ride before switching to happy dad and husband. You interrupted a mental conversation and moment that caused him to pull out emotions he wasn't ready for just yet. He doesn't like surprises. As a person who also does not like surprises, I understand how he felt when a sudden change of what he thought his last trek of the exhausting travel home would look like. Some people are just like that. We need things to be unsurprising. It's not that he wasn't looking forward to seeing you guys, but he was tired. He was planning to mentally charge up on the drive home before he had to interact with people. Nah. Are we sure the side piece didn't have to jump into a bin? This is an introvert's perspective. I have no idea if hubby is an introvert, but the post made it sound as if he is. While fun, he had to be on for 3 days straight. Social battery. Then the plane ride filled with strangers and no air conditioning. While well-meaning, the surprise was in the middle of a packed airport while you recorded it. As if he'd been gone long-term. Not 3 days. It was a surprise but also meant to garner attention from airport passengers and probably on social media. It truly wasn't about him but his reaction. You're upset with his reaction. When you cannot control or dictate his reaction. As an introvert, someone you admitted doesn't like surprises. This would cause emotional discomfort. There is a reason he took himself to the airport. The car ride home alone was so he could decompress, charge his social batteries, and get his game face on so that when he got home, he had the energy to focus on you and the children without being the focus of a spectacle. Maybe your husband does not have the enough emotional capacity for a surprise, so instead of the stereotypical, happy reaction that we anticipated, he might have felt worried or mildly irritated, for he doesn't know how to react to a surprise. You might have brought him mental confusion and exhaustion. I am on the fence about this. Travel can be exhausting. You just want to get home, have a shower and rest. You don't need unnecessary hassles. The last thing you need is young kids turning up wanting attention. With that said, he could have handled it much better. I'd forget about the incident and move forward. As someone who travels and a dad who is a pilot, it's a process to prepare being back in a routine and from exhausting travel plans. I don't think he meant it rudely, but he was probably mentally preparing for his upcoming weekend. As you said, he doesn't like surprises. And traveling on a packed plane with no AC is not a joke. It's horrific. He wasn't trying to insult you or hurt your feelings. However, you have a right to be upset. You wanted to do something cute and nice and your child was asking for dad, but he didn't respond in the way you wanted. I just hope you're not more upset because the video wasn't as good with his expression. I don't think anyone is but just a difference of agreement. You both could have handled it differently, but I totally get where both sides are coming from. Think neither. Think you're both just disappointed you didn't get what you wanted. Maybe he didn't want you videoing it. Not everything has to be a moment. It's just normal stuff. Lot of stuff on here about the 3-year-old missing the dad. Yep, they'll be back soon. You don't have to cater to their every whim. I travel a fair bit and think you just get in your head how you've got X amount of time until you're back in your normal routine, so it's probably just a bit of disappointment that he can't chill on the drive. Go have yourself a few weekends away. I miss my kids when I travel, but don't need a running to meet at the airport moment after a few days. To be fair, I've been away for over a week, and they didn't bat an eyelid. As someone who hates surprises, I think I get what happens. When I say I hate surprises, I almost fainted one time, not for happiness but of shock. It's a birthday surprise. All my friends were there. I wanted to puke so bad. So, yeah, you said it in the last paragraph. I think you know why. But his response was definitely stupid. I can't blame you for getting mad. Nah, I don't really think he's an asshole for being surprised and putting his foot in his mouth when he was tired from the plane ride. Also depends what time he flew out, what sleep he had, etc. But I also don't think you're an asshole for bringing the kids to surprise him. I just think it was a miscommunication that wasn't handled the best because you were both feeling pretty strong feelings, which can cause tunnel vision to your own feelings. Hope y'all have sorted it out now. Maybe plan a weekend getaway with the family if y'all can. YTA. But not for surprising your husband at the airport. YTA for insisting he has to like it, and punishing him until he tells you he did. First off, you say you know your husband hates surprises, and you chose to ignore that. Not a great start, but like you say, it's pretty low stakes. It could have been really sweet, but it wasn't. Your surprise-averse husband predictably didn't like being surprised. Maybe he just wanted the 20-minute drive to decompress? Regardless, he has a right to like or not like your surprise, right? He didn't like it, so you instantly start with the silent treatment. Now, he not only didn't get any alone time between the plane and the house, but now he has to manage his wife's temper tantrum. And by manage, I mean he not only has to lie to you about how much he loved your surprise, he has to be convincing about it, too. Exhausting. You did what you did. He felt what he felt about it. Accept it and move on. Don't punish him because he didn't like your surprise. Gonna go against the grain here, YTA. But only a little. If you know he doesn't like surprises, as someone who also hates them, I'd much rather get a little heads up so I know what to expect. If after a 3-hour flight with no AC I'm expecting to have a quiet and peaceful drive home to see my family, and I'm instead suddenly forced to engage with no notice or expectation, it'd be too much to throw me off guard and make me kinda shut down. Communicate and recognize that it upset both of you, and move on from it, no biggie. YTA. I don't understand why people are surprised when people they know do like surprises react poorly to surprises. Air travel is miserable experience these days. Your husband had mentally prepared himself for a solo drive home and you decided to surprise him. The kids at the airport for yourself. You know he doesn't like surprises and didn't give him a heads up. I don't think anybody's the AH here. It's just a misunderstanding and it shouldn't be taken personally. We don't know a lot about the OP's partner. But I know from my own experience that I love being alone after a flight. Especially on the drive home from the airport. Not always great having a giddy 3-year-old around when the old social battery is drained, even if it is my own 3-year-old. You had the best intentions, and on another day, on another flight, he might have been over the moon. It would be best to have an open conversation about it without judgment. And try to understand his reaction, as well as helping him understand why you were upset. NTA, but neither is he. Going to the airport is exciting for kids, and seeing daddy coming out of the airport is a big deal for them, so you did a great thing for your kids. On the other side, I can understand your husband's reaction. I am a bit introverted and need time alone to decompress and re-energize so I can be the best version of myself, and I do get ratty if I don't get that time to decompress. Sometimes a drive home alone is all it takes. You surprised him. He didn't appreciate it, and that's fine as long as he didn't take it out on the kids. No harm done. The only thing that makes you an AH is that you won't drop it. You pursue him about it and make him apologize, which he does, but that's not good enough for you. You then have to make him take it back, which he does. And still not satisfied, you then come to Reddit to let the world know. The situation should have been settled once he apologized. Done. Finished. You haven't accepted his apology. You haven't accepted him taking it back. If you get a judgment here making him out to be an AH in the court of public opinion, will that be enough?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.